Hey, what's up, guys? This is the second personal project of two that I had that I was trying to wrap up this weekend. This is going to be a demo video for my custom etched and painted brass flagship by Nick over at NG Sabers. This is installed with a Proffie and a Goth Master chassis. This is an H.R. Geiger etched flagship that I had Nick do for me. This is an exact replica of the last one that I had him do. The only difference between the two is that this one has color. It's painted black and then it fades into red, and then it's got some red and black just mixed over here, which is something that I really wanted. So I asked him if he could just make an exact replica but then paint it up for me, because I just like the color scheme. It looks really cool. If you guys aren't familiar with H.R. Geiger, I'll try to post some pictures of some things that he's done. He's had a pretty extensive artistic career, not to mention something that most people have probably seen or are familiar with, the movie Aliens. You know, he actually designed the xenomorphs and everything in that movie. You know, but yeah, I'm super happy with how this saber came out. If I could do some close-up shots, I know the camera's not going to really do it justice, but it looks very nice. He calls out all of the different artworks where he took the inspiration from, or he took the pictures from, to do, you know, the different parts of the saber. This also has I got this dual tactile switch from my buddy Rob over at Sabers. This was an aluminum dual tactile switch that I had laying around, so I painted it black and just kind of weathered it a small bit so it would match the saber. Top switch, power, bottom switch, auxiliary. This is actually running the new stock V4 Neopixel. I've got a couple of these that Cal over at KR Sabers was kind enough to send over my way so that I could test. So I put one in here and it works very well. It's very bright. We'll go over that here in a second. As we open it up to get to the chassis, which we'll do right here, this is probably one of the easier master chassis to install. It doesn't take any time at all, right? But it looks really nice. It's got that brass crystal chamber, so I went ahead and I weathered that. It's got a brass cover for the board, so I went ahead and I weathered that too. Just a mild weathering so it would match the saber. I do have a 3-pixel accent strip on top of my board, so I'll show you that here in a second. A 24mm Smuggler's Outpost speaker. This takes a removable battery. All right, so no spring in this battery, but it has a leaf spring. So the leaf spring is over here by the crystal chamber. That's the negative side of the battery. Kill switch over here by my pinky. This is probably the first saber of mine, anyway, that I have put a colored crystal in the inside the crystal chamber. This has a red dyed real quartz crystal that Albert sent me a long time ago. Albert Flores over at Smugglers. He sent me a few of these to try out a long time ago. I've been hanging on to them until I got the right build. So I put that in there. I think it looks really good. One additional thing I did to this chassis, just to have a few more blinkies, is I've got a separate accent, you know, for the crystal. I've got a 3-pixel accent strip right up here on top of my board. And then something that you can't see, but you'll see it light up, is I've got one more Neopixel accent hidden up inside this switch, and it faces down towards the crystal chamber. All right, so we'll throw a battery in this guy real quick. Come over here and flip the switch. This particular font is Extraneous by KSIF. This is a font that I really enjoy. So that crystal lights up very well. Now when I come over here and I hit power, you'll see the one that's on top that's hidden inside the switch section. I've got that doing like a broken circuitry. This is something that I do a lot, the broken circuitry effect. I use that on a lot of different sabers, but I really enjoy how it came out here. And of course I've got that same effect on top of the board. So the board LEDs and the top LED inside this switch section, they're wired together. All right. And then the crystal itself went solid reacts to auxiliary. These LEDs in here, very bright. I will throw this in. I had the option to modify this chassis to fit a 28mm speaker. Whoops. It's just not something I wanted to do. I think a 24mm is fine, especially for this, being that it's my Saber. I'll probably never, I'm not going to say never, I hardly ever turn my guys or my Sabers on. Maybe, you know, once a month or once every couple weeks I might go through and I'll grab it off the shelf. But this is really a shelf piece for me. And it sounds good with the handle on. It takes a 1-inch diameter blade. I am going to use my TriStar blade. I gave this particular font, I put the lava lamp blade style on from Fett's library just because I had never played with it before and I just wanted to try it out. Alright, so that's a pretty cool blade. Go to another font. I've got Kyber Shuttle and I've got Kyber Strike on here from Jadalorian. And then I've also got a Predator font on here, which is the closest thing I could get to the, you know, H.R. Geiger / Aliens theme. Now the Kyber Shuttle and the Kyber Strike fonts both came with their own blade styles. So of course that's what I used, right? Now I say H.R. Geiger and Aliens theme, but I specifically asked Nick to stay away from anything aliens on this particular Saber just because it's what he was most popularly known for, but he had so much other artwork to choose from that I really wanted to highlight some of his other pieces. These two sound fonts, Kyber Strike and Kyber Shuttle, also are courtesy of Warren, who was kind enough to buy them and send them my way for me to use on my personal builds. So thank you for that, Warren. This being the Predator font. This one has a pretty cool soundtrack as well. Anyway, we'll break this down. We'll go ahead and turn this off and then break it down. Just wanted to show this off real quick. This isn't going to be a long demo at all. I did a pretty in-depth demo on this, on the other Saber that I have just like this when I first got that one in. But yeah, this one just had some paint job differences, which I think just really made all of the etching pop, and I was very, very happy with how it came out. So I pretty much got the crystal and, you know, the top of the board and the pixel up in here doing the same thing no matter what font is on. And since this is a red crystal, I've always got the accent for that crystal as a white light, right? So it just shines on the red. All right, so yeah, that is basically my H.R. Geiger etched and painted Flagship by Nick over at NG Sabers. I do highly recommend him if you're looking for any etching services. You know, it's basically, I just recommend two guys all the time, Carl Danby over at Vaults of Valhalla and Nick over at NG Sabers are my two recommendations. All right, but yeah, that's my personal Saber. Very happy with how it came out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.